Hello, my name is Corey Griffin, and I come to you from the Dallas, Texas metro area, and I'm a proud seminary graduate student of Liberty University in Lynchburg, Virginia. And today I would like to talk to you concerning the Ferguson, Missouri situation and the problems that it has caused as far as the country being divided over racial related issues concerning this court case and other court cases. I believe that if we look at this situation and we decide as a country, one nation under God, to place our hope in God and our place our hope in God instead of relying on our judicial system and others to give us the answers as to how to get this country back together as one nation under God, we will get further down the road. For example, in watching the hostile rioting and picketing situation in Ferguson, Missouri, concerning a young black teenager male, Michael Brown, being shot, an unarmed black teenager male, Michael Brown, being shot to death by a white police officer, Darren Wilson. My mind reflects upon a famous American quote which states, "History always repeats itself," meaning American history over time repeating itself can be just as instrumental to enhancing our country's code of ethics practiced daily, as well as it can be immorally detrimental to our country's code of ethics practiced daily. For example, if we look back upon the worst war to ever transpire in American history concerning the Civil War, it's obvious that this racially driven American versus American high fatality killing war was an effort to free the oppressed people at that time, which was ordered by our country then President Abraham Lincoln. My question today is who will come through today, or what person will come today and emancipate us, not from a physical standpoint of Americans killing Americans in these racial situations, but more of a standpoint of who will free our minds mentally so we can all get back together as one nation under God and make this country the great country that it is, and that is one nation under God who believe in all the liberties given to all men of all races and all ethnic background. And I believe that if that answer comes strictly through us relying upon the Lord Jesus Christ and praying to the Lord Jesus Christ for his intervention in these matters. If we look at the story of Jonah, when God placed him in a situation where he had to call out to him when he was inside the belly of the whale, Jonah cried out to him and he prayed to him for answers in this situation. And I, metaphorically speaking, I'm asking Americans today to cry out and pray to the Lord Jesus Christ to give us answers so we can come together as one up under this situation. Because it's a tragic situation, a situation that should not have occurred, but it has. And there's nothing we can do about that now. But I believe if we look at Jonah, second chapter, where it states, "Then Jonah prayed to the Lord his God from the stomach of the fish, and he said, I call out my distress to the Lord, and he answered me. I cried for help from the depth of Sheol. You heard my voice, for you have cast into the deep, into the heart of the seas, and the current engulfed me. All your breakers and bows passed over me. So I said, I have been expelled from your sight. Nevertheless, I will look again towards your holy temple. Water encompassed me to the point of death. The great deep engulfed me. Weeds were wrapped around my head. I descended to the roots of the mountains. The earth with its bars was around me forever. But you have brought up my life from the pit. O Lord my God, while I was fainting away, I remembered the Lord, and my prayer came to you, into your holy temple. Those who regarded vain idols forsaken their faithfulness, but I will sacrifice to you with the voice of thanksgiving, that which I have vowed I will pay. Salvation is from the Lord." Then the Lord commanded the fish, and it vomited Jonah up onto the dry land. Therefore, America, unless all Americans turn and start praying to the Lord Jesus Christ regarding escalated racial tensions here in America surrounding this court case and other court cases, this would be a recurring event. Therefore, if Americans continue to pride itself on judicial systems which strive daily to omit the Lord Jesus Christ's presence and influence on its final decision-making process answers by honoring separation of church and state, then Americans' social system will continue to demoralize itself in American eyesight. And if we look at Mark 3 and 25, Jesus Christ says, if a house is divided against itself, that house cannot stand. So I asked Americans today, instead of blaming politicians and the justice system and asking for justice and stuff, why don't we ask God through prayer to give us answers, where we all can get along here in America and become one nation under God. Do I particularly support this court, the no indictment in Ferguson, Missouri? No, I don't. Do I say that we should, as a nation, get back together and try to find ways to solve these racial relations here in American problems? Yes. Do I believe that we should pray to the Lord Jesus Christ and ask Him for His influence in the matter and for Him to send us faith leaders, who are national faith leaders, to finally stand up and speak out for the Lord Jesus Christ in these matters and things? Yes. Do I believe that separation of church and state has continued to destroy us as a nation and will continue to as we go forward? Yes. I believe that separation of church and state does has its good points, but at the end of the day, we cannot separate ourselves from God and continue to say that we will be a nation to set example for other nations. When you separation of church from state, and God, separation of church and state is another way of saying you separating yourself from God. And when you separate yourself from God, God, like a parent, He will let His kids go out and basically make mistakes and see how long it will take for them to come back and say, Dad, Father, I need your influence and advice in this matter. Our judicial system is a wreck. Our democracy is going to the dogs. And I believe that even former President Bush said he don't understand how the no indictment was surrendered in New York City concerning the Eric Gardner situation. I don't understand that, nor do I say that I support anyone who are for and against it. All I ask is that we, including our president, turn to the Lord Jesus Christ, ask for answers, and let our faith leaders be seen out and about with our politicians discussing racial relation matters and other matters that's concerning America. If we continue to go away from God, we will continue to have bad things happen to us. We are a nation that's built on freedom of speech. So separation of church and state has, to a point, silenced freedom of speech from both the political as well as the faith world, and separated them, cut each other off, and both of them are governing themselves according to separation of church and state. This situation in Ferguson, Missouri is very much so puzzling, but I believe that as Matthew 19:26 say, through man's way things are impossible, but through God's way all things are possible. And I believe that the only way that we will solve these race relationship problems and things like that moving forward, we have to add the Lord Jesus Christ to say so in our judicial system. As I was talking to someone the other day, we were discussing this matter. I say, well, maybe what the bigger picture people missing out on here is the fact that if we get a guilty verdict or we get an indictment, especially a guilty verdict, that maybe cities and things throughout America do not want to be liable for paying a wrongful death lawsuit if we get a guilty verdict, because the next thing to do would be the parents of these young black teenagers and men or spouses or children will ask for a wrongful death suit. That's my speculation, but I could be very much so wrong. That's the reason I, as a man, a Christian man, and a believer in the Lord Jesus Christ as the Father and the Son, still pray to the Lord Jesus Christ that He will come in and help us in this matter before there be more destruction to properties, before there be more deaths and more innocent people getting killed. Together we stand, divided we fall. And I, Corey Griffin, asked us as a nation to continue to pray to the Lord Jesus Christ. Yes, He does send speakers to speak for Him, but if we remain silent and we don't work together from a political and a faith world standpoint, we will forever perish as a nation. I believe America is the greatest nation on earth. I would not want to live anywhere but America, but again, we must allow the Lord Jesus Christ to have His presence in our judicial system, as well as the way we conduct ourselves in life. When we pride ourselves upon separation of church and state, politicians and faith leaders in America, we are asking God to step away and not be a part of our decision making process. If you look throughout the Bible, many men and women throughout the Bible have tried to go on and live a life that does not consist of the Lord Jesus Christ, but somewhere along there, He intervened and showed them that He is the Father of all nations. And together, again, we stand divided, we fall. I feel bad for the parents and the spouses who all have lost loved ones in this situation, but I ask them also too to place your faith upon the Lord Jesus Christ versus placing your faith in man. Man will fail you, God never will. And if we stand together as a nation, we will be strong again. This is Corey Griffin, and I hope this message reached someone, and I hope that the Lord be with you, and that we continue to move forward and think about, once again, adding the Lord Jesus Christ's presence upon these situations, and to give us the correct answers instead of what the popular choice. Thank you, and have a blessed day.